Okay, so in this class, we will be learning how to calculate the value for sum of square of roots. So let's first revise that quadratic has two roots, which are alpha, beta. So what would be sum of square of roots? Sum of square of roots. Okay, so sum of square of roots will be alpha plus beta with square over them. We need to find value for this. So how will we do that? But first, let's make a table for cubic and quadratic as well. Cubic, we have three roots, alpha, beta, and gamma. And the sum of square of roots will be alpha square plus beta square plus gamma square. And we need to find the value for it. And similarly for quadratic, we have four roots, alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. So again, sum of square of roots will be alpha square plus beta square plus gamma square plus delta square. And again, we have to find value for it. So yeah, before we find the values for sum of square of roots, we will first recall an identity which we have been using forever now. A plus B square identity. If we were to expand this, we will get a square plus 2ab plus b square. Let's write square terms together. A square plus b square plus 2ab. Now, if we were to make the square terms the subject, how will we do that? We will simply subtract 2 alpha beta with both sides, and we will end up with a plus b square minus 2 alpha beta alpha square plus beta. Oh, I meant b square. So this will be equal to this. Yeah, I mistakenly wrote alpha here instead of a. Okay, so this is how we will make this the subject. So using the same trick, we can find these, right? Now let me tell you guys this first before we solve our example. All three of these follow same pattern or formula if you want to call it. We will learn how to derive that pattern size formula with taking a quadratic equation as an example. So for instance, we have 2x cubed, square, minus 6x plus 3 equals to 0 as a quadratic equation. Let's say that this quadratic equation has two roots, alpha and beta. We now need to find sum of square of roots, which is alpha square plus beta square, which is equals to question mark. We need to find the question mark. Question mark is basically value for alpha square plus beta square. So using the same logic here that we used here, we can actually find the value of alpha square plus beta square. Like using the same method, we will make alpha square plus beta square the subject. So a plus b, if we were to square them, we should eventually get alpha square plus beta square, right? So let's try that. And yeah, we already know that alpha plus beta is equals to minus b over a. But we need to find alpha square plus beta square. We don't need to find the values of this, right? So we will expand this instead of solving for it. So alpha plus beta square will be alpha square plus beta square plus 2 alpha beta. Now, to make this a subject, we will take this to the other side, and now it will be alpha plus beta square minus 2 alpha beta is equals to alpha square plus beta square. And now we can easily input values using quadratic equation and find the value for alpha square plus beta square. So let's do that. This is equals to minus b over a, right? Sum of roots is equals to minus b over a. So b is minus 6, so it will be 6. And divide by 2 is 2, so b is equals to alpha plus sum of roots will be equal to 3. So 3 square minus now 2. So let's find the product of roots. Product of roots is c over a, right? C over a. C is 3 and a is 2, so 3 over 2 is our alpha beta, some product of roots. 2 and 2 gets cancelled. 3 3s are 9 minus 3 equals to alpha square plus beta square. So alpha square plus beta square will be equal to 6. Now remember what I said. All of these follow same pattern hash formula, which is yeah, sum of roots which is minus b over a minus 2 c over a. This is the formula slash pattern they follow, whatever you want to call it. This will always be equal to a square plus b square plus c square plus d square plus e square and so on. So now let's solve an example for cubic using this pattern. So for instance, we have a cubic equation x cubed minus 3x squared plus 4 equals to 0. So we have no x term here, so we will rewrite the equation and add the x term with the coefficient 0, x cubed minus 3x squared plus 0x plus 4 equals to 0. Now our objective here is to find sum of square of roots, which is alpha square plus beta square plus gamma square. So our three roots are alpha, beta, and gamma. So if we were to square sum of roots, sum of roots, square sum of roots, okay, so square sum of roots, alpha plus beta plus gamma. If we were to square them, we will end up with alpha square plus beta square plus gamma square plus 2 alpha beta plus 2 beta gamma plus 2 alpha gamma. We can take 2 common here. So let's rewrite it. Alpha square plus beta square plus gamma square. 2 common. Alpha beta plus beta gamma plus alpha gamma. Now let's take this to the other side to make sum of square of roots the subject. So this will be alpha plus beta plus gamma square minus 2 alpha beta plus beta gamma plus alpha gamma equals to alpha square plus beta square plus gamma square. Now, as we know that the sum of pairwise roots is also C over A, right? And this is sum of pairwise roots. So again, our equation is minus B over A square minus 2 C over A is equals to alpha square plus beta square plus gamma square. This is what I explained here. No matter what, if the equation is following this pattern, A square plus B square plus C square plus D square plus E square and so on, to find the sum of square of roots, we will just use this formula, minus B over A square minus 2 multiplied by C over A. So let's do that and find the value for alpha square plus beta square plus gamma square for this cubic equation. So minus B over A is 3 square minus 2. What is C over A? The value of C is 0 here. So this will be 0 equal to alpha square plus beta square plus gamma square. So in the end, we will be left with 9, which is the value for alpha square plus beta square plus gamma square. Now, let's solve directly using this formula for a quartic equation. We need to find the roots for these equations are alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. So we now need to find the sum of square of roots. So which will be alpha square plus beta square plus gamma square plus delta square. So we need to find a value for this. How will we do that? So we will simply apply this formula here, which is minus b over a square minus 2c over a, because this is following this similar pattern here. So let's solve for sum of square of roots for this quartic equation, which will be minus b over a square minus 2c over a, right? So minus b over a, which is 4 square minus 2c over a, c is 5, 5. So 4 fours is 16, and 2 multiplied by 5 is 10. So value for sum of square of roots for this quartic equation is 6. And this is it for today's lecture.